I want you to hit me as hard as you can.
On their first attempt at a Spider-Man franchise with Tobey Maguire, Sony Pictures got off to a great start, but then...
You blew it.
Then they rebooted it up with Andrew Garfield, and even planned a Spider-Man cinematic universe that would stick it to Marvel. But once again... You blew it! Now Sony Pictures has finally manned up and let Spider-Man come back home to Marvel Studios, with Tom Holland now donning the spandex, teaming up with Iron Man, and facing off against the Vulturist Michael Keaton in Spider-Man Homecoming. And as we've confirmed with his cameo in Civil War and this flick's great early reviews, this looks to be the big screen Spider-Man we've all been waiting for. No emo transformations, no wishy-washy romances, and no juggling 10,000 villains over the course of one movie. It just proves once again that nobody does the Marvel characters better than Marvel themselves, which you certainly couldn't say about them back in their early days on TV. Yes, after tackling Marvel's televised takes on the Incredible Hulk, Captain America, and Doctor Strange, we're finally getting around to their first live-action adaptation of The Amazing Spider-Man, which, unlike Captain America or Doctor Strange, actually made it past the pilot episode to get 2 full seasons of 30 episodes on CBS. And the mad geniuses at Columbia Pictures got the bright idea to bring some of these episodes from the small screen to the big screen, concocting a trilogy of some of the show's 2-parter episodes repackaged as full-length movies that actually played in theaters over in Europe. But here in America, these movies are only available on VHS, and also YouTube. And since my compatriot Jason Adams has already reviewed the first of these movies through the Awfully Good column, I'm gonna make like the new Spider-Man movie and skip over the boring origin crap, so we can head straight to reviewing the sequel from 1978, Spider-Man Strikes Back. This is, of course, the beloved entry of the Spider-Man TV movie trilogy, where Spider-Man gets mauled by a Wampa, trains under Yoda in the swamps of Dagobah, and gets his arm cut off by Darth Vader. Oh wait, I'm sorry, I'm thinking about The Empire Strikes Back. No, I'm talking about this cinematic re-edit of the Spider-Man show's 2-part episode, The Deadly Dust, which is, as you know, the famous episode where Peter and Aunt May get addicted to angel dust, which forces Aunt May to receive electroshock therapy in a mental asylum, while Peter's arm becomes infected from too many heroin injections, and they're forced to cut it off. Okay, maybe I got that wrong again. But my point is, I really want to see Spider-Man lose a fucking arm.
That is awesome, dude!
So our film opens as a sobbing woman teeters on the ledge of her building, threatening to kill herself because she just found out she landed a role in that shitty Spider-Man TV show. And speaking of Spider-Man, we see him swing in to save this woman's life.
Here you are, Captain. Special delivery.
Hey, wait a minute!
Guys, I'm pretty sure this is supposed to be the shitty test costume that Spider-Man always starts out with in one of these movies, and not the actual Spider-Man costume. Then we cut back to him as his alter ego, Peter Parker, a young man in New York City working part-time as a photographer for the Daily Bugle newspaper, and played here by Nicholas Hammond.
Who?
You know, he played Friedrich von Trapp in The Sound of Music, and over a decade later, his hair remained
magnificent.
Peter also finds time to attend science classes at New York State University, where his professor reveals to the class that he's made a fully functioning nuclear reactor out of plutonium that can be used as a power source. But his students are afraid that some terrorist could break into the lab and turn it into an atomic bomb.
Dr. Vader, I hope you have created the perfect breeder reactor. I mean, I'd love to believe that there'll be no danger, but I just can't.
Safe room? There's no such thing.
I am sorry, sir, but you were wrong.
What the hell is this class? Dramatically standing up from your chair 101? I did not deserve to get an F on that exam, Dr. Bader. Actually, Jason, you just got yourself an A. So a gang of Peter's fellow students decide the best way to convince the university that having a nuclear reactor on campus is a bad idea is to steal the reactor themselves and build it into a functional atomic bomb just to prove their point. I'm sorry, what? And though Spider-Man swoops in to try and stop the theft, he gets there too late and ends up being blamed for stealing the reactor, which captures the attention of the megalomaniacal villain, Mr. White, played by Robert Alda, aka the dad of Alan Alda, who flies to New York with his gang of henchmen in order to track down this Spider-Man and have him lead Mr. White to the nuclear reactor, so he can use it to fulfill his evil plan of assassinating the president.
What do you want?
We want you, Parker.
Come in, Mr. Parker.
I've been expecting you.
Yes, Mr. Parker, it's me, Colonel Sanders, and I heard you got your hands on my secret chicken recipe there, sir. But Mr. White soon deducts that it's not Peter Parker who's gotten a hold of this plutonium, but rather his friends from college, who are in big trouble after one of them goes to the hospital with radiation sickness from being exposed to the plutonium. Yeah, I guess that'll happen when you're handling weapons-grade plutonium without wearing hazmat suits. Even Homer Simpson is smart enough to wear a fucking hazmat suit while handling plutonium. Also, why is it that Peter Parker gets superpowers when exposed to radioactivity, yet this bitch gets cancer when exposed to radioactivity? Ah, noodle on that one for a while. And after Mr. White steals the student's atomic bomb while they're at the hospital, it's up to Peter to find out what this evildoer plans to do with the bomb, with the help of Gail Hoffman, a rival reporter from Miami, who's come to New York to get an exclusive story on Spider-Man, and the ornery police captain Barbera, played by Michael Pataki, whom MST3K fans best know as the villain from The Side Hackers and the police chief from It Lives by Night. Oh, and he was also Drago's manager in Rocky IV.
What can you tell me about Spider-Man?
Not much. He's given me a lot of sleepless nights.
You think he's capable of doing something like this?
Whatever he hits, he destroys.
So as you can see, this flick has all the elements to deliver on some corny 1970s goodness, and I'm glad to say that it very much delivers. I mean, it certainly isn't up to any standard of cinematic quality. Hell, Spider-Man's costume looks more like Danny DeVito dressed as Man-Spider, and J. Jonah Jameson in this movie looks and acts more like Charlie Bucket's grandpa than J. Jonah Jameson. He's less cigar-chomping hard-ass and more whiny senior citizen.
Parker! Parker! Parker!
But when in the hell did I ever expect these Marvel TV movies to be as good as the Marvel Cinematic Universe movies? I'm just here to laugh at the melodramatic dialogue, the abundance of boom mics falling into the shot, the wonderfully dated musical score, and the badly choreographed fight scenes, especially near the end where Spider-Man flies to LA to track down Mr. White and takes down his henchmen in a fight scene on a Western movie set.
I don't know how you did it, but Angel doesn't fail twice.
There has to be a first time for everything.
That's right, folks, it's the good, the bad, and the Spidey. And all of it comes together to be just the kind of 70s TV movie cheese that will leave you laughing throughout. Plus, it's way more fun to sit through than either of the shitty Spider-Man sequels, or that Spider-Man Broadway musical. Trust me, I saw that piece of shit live in New York City, and I still can't make the hurt go away.
Here we go! Oh, ouch! That's not a hurt! Go, go, go!
My awfully good sense is tingling. That must mean it's time to web sling down to the liquor store and get some booze so you can play the awfully good drinking game. Take a shot or drink every time Peter's Spidey sense goes off. And back in the 70s, apparently, the phrase, "my Spidey sense is tingling," was a secret code for "the acid I took just kicked in." They make a dated pop culture reference from the 70s.
It's a stunt to publicize a new rock group, like the one Evel Knievel plans to do.
You want to do a cover story on some weirdo who thinks he's a cross between Rudolph Nureyev and Tarzan? Gail Hoffman, I'm with the National Paper, the Weekly Examiner.
Next it'll be Woodward and Bernstein.
Wait, did you just say Woodward and Bernstein? Oh shit, the cops know that Spider-Man was behind Watergate. Listen, Spidey, you help me tap these phones, and I promise you my team's gonna have a word with that J. Jonah Jameson. Someone breaks out into some sweet karate moves, and I'm talking all kinds of karate. Elderly man karate, first-person perspective karate, breaking down a door with karate. Okay, guys, I don't think that's gonna work. You see someone being followed by Mr. White's lead henchman, who goes by the name of Angel.
Angel, you and Benson put the limousine on a cargo flight.
Okay, maybe Angel's not a terribly intimidating name for a villainous goon, but I gotta say that it's a shame Michael McDonald never did any more acting after this movie. I keep forgetting that I'm an evil henchman. I keep forgetting that I'm hunting after the Spider-Man. And take a double shot when you see Spider-Man jump from a helicopter. Haha, yes. None of you knew about Spider-Man's most awesome power, the ability to stand perfectly still while falling through the air.
Spider-Man, Spider-Man. He flies like a moron.
And on the nudie watch, this may be a television movie, but it's still the sleazy 70s, so you can bet this flick can find some opportunity to get Peter's female companion to strip down to a bikini.
Why do I have to dress this way?
2 reasons.
One, because I like women in bikinis. And two, I feel safer when I know there's no place for them to hide any weapons.
Oh, are you sure about that?
Gungina, the new TV superheroine from Marvel Studios, coming this fall to Netflix. On the enjoyableness continuum scale from Bull to Bruce, Spider-Man Strikes Back does whatever a delightfully bad superhero movie can, and spins a web of 8 out of 10. To paraphrase Uncle Ben, with low budget comes great laughability. I'm Jesse Shea for JoBlo.com, and I suppose I could give a shout out to that Spider-Man TV show that they did in Japan, but really, what the hell could that show offer that the American show doesn't?
Change the apart. Kimi wa naze.
I'm sorry, is that Spider-Man piloting a giant robot? Okay, Marvel, scrap this new Spider-Man reboot in the trash. We're gonna go back one more time and give Spider-Man a giant fucking robot, because the 4th time is the motherfucking charm.
Spider-Man. JoBlo.